What's going on, everybody? This is King Tarhill, and welcome to my Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning video. You may notice that my tune doesn't have any clothes on right now. That's because I've been getting a few messages asking me about how I got certain spells and stuff like that. So I'm going to go through and make a few builds that I've been using for each of the classes, so you guys can see what I've been doing in the videos and stuff like that. So hopefully this will help you guys out, and let's get started. Okay, first we're going to start with a general might build, all points in might. These builds right here are going to contain, these are for early level builds. This is a level 12 tune right here. So you're able to get to the 4th tier. After that you're able to divide a little further, and I'll do another set of these a little further down. But this is a good tier to get you started at level 12. For the might tunes, we want on the first level we want to do brutal weaponry. People generally forget about this column. I've seen a lot of messages about this. This is where you get your weapon skills, where you learn to do new techniques with your weapons. Probably the most important tree in the game right here. Or not in the game, but for each class this way. So we're going with the defense, skillful defense, which allows you to do the special shield when you get your 5 points into it, and increases your damage mitigation by blocking. As the might character, I'm all about doing damage and being able to take damage. That's how I like to play it. I like to be able to gather up lots of enemies. I like to be able to walk up to an orange boss and not even have to worry about getting hit. That's when I think of might, that's how I want to play. So this is a tune that if you're having trouble, if you're dying a lot, if you're constantly popping potions, this is a class you might want to look into. So this is going to teach us new weapons with our longsword, greatsword, and hammer. So next we're going to go up. This increases your health and elemental resistance, always a plus. I have 4 points into it at this level. Plus 17 health and 11 elemental resistance is huge. The most powerful spell you get is Quake, which is awesome. So Quake is an AoE spell. A lot of people don't know, if you hit it 3 times, it's the right mouse button on the PC, it will chain for a bigger Quake, and it's a big AoE Quake. And very powerful. Great sword is my weapon of choice for the might class. So we have some points in great sword mastery, and then we put more points in brutal weaponry, which gives us fate bonuses and teaches us how to do another attack. The next tier up, we're going to have Tremors, or Aftershocks, excuse me, which causes your Quake to do 50% more damage and has 40% chance for a 5-second stun in the final hit. Again, Quake is the big spell that I use for the might class. It's the big damage dealing spell. Also on this tier we have Relentless Assault, which allows us not to be interrupted. This is great when you're going to cast Quake, cast Relentless Assault, and then you don't have to worry about being interrupted with chaining your three Quakes together. Next tier up, the 4th tier. We have Battle Frenzy, which allows you to go into Berserker. So when you're not having to worry about defense, you can go into your Berserker stance, and you get damage bonuses for every kill that you get. So if there's a ton of mobs, one of those ones where you have 8-10 mobs, hit Battle Frenzy, and you're good to go. We also put 1 point in here, which is all we could afford to learn the new attack. And then we have Vengeance, which allows a 10% chance to reflect our damage onto our opponent, which is also good if we're getting beat upon a lot. So this is my might build. I'll show you guys a little bit of all the skills that we got for it from here. Okay, so here I'm going to show you some of the moves that you're going to get with this particular might build. You're going to have the weapon skills, which you're going to have the charge, spinning AoE, really good AoE weapon. That's pretty much the main reason why I choose the greatsword. You're going to have the overhead swing attack right there. You're also going to have the shield bash, which is a great opener if you're coming up against an enemy that is difficult or has explosives or poisons or something like that. You also have the new dodge attack one, which is right here. A good space saver if you're trying to catch up with an enemy or finish off an enemy. Again, your main attack is going to be your Quake. It's an incredibly powerful spell. If you're having trouble with a lot of enemies, you're able to put on your skills, so your Relentless Assault, so you can't be interrupted. Even put on your Berserker, I call it Berserker. I don't think that's technically what it's called. And then you're able to chain your 3 Quakes together. I didn't have enough mana because I just blew it, but it's a very powerful spell. Overall, this is a really good build. It served me. It was pretty much my main build going up. It's allowed me to not die virtually at all. If you are able to keep your shield up, you're able to time your parries, and once you get the shield bash, you're able to do a lot of really interesting things. It may not be the most exciting build to play, but it's a very solid build for people who are struggling, and it's a great tank build. I would recommend it for someone who is struggling a little bit, or maybe wants to put a little more patience into the battle. Okay, next up is the Finesse Build. Now, this is not a stealth build. This is a ranged ranger style build, hunter. If you're the MMO type build, I didn't want to do a stealth build. I do have a stealth build. I can put that up at another time if you guys want to see that. But this is a ranged build, which I think is very, very effective. We'll go through what we have here. As you see, our arrows and our pretty much our bow line is pretty much filled up, and we also have our trap line. So here we do. I go with Fey Blades and bow and arrow. Bow and arrow is my primary. Fey Blades is my secondary. So you do need to have the secondary skills. You do want to be able to put the damage over time on them. You see, I didn't put 3 points in them for the Fate. On the Might one, you can also take those points off and put them somewhere else. But in the Might one, I feel the Fate is more important. In that one's a building up, a battle of attrition, and a lot of times the Fate is really what you need to get through some of those really tough battles. Here we're all about trying to keep distance. So we have our poisons, we have our frost trap, we have this is our kind of our oh crap, we're cornered, we're able to attack and from behind, and we have our smoke bombs. You can play around with these points a little bit. You can move the smoke bomb, and you can put it in Shadow Flare if you want. If you really like Shadow Flare, I wasn't that big a fan of it on the finesse side of it, but I really did like the bow and arrow and having a ranged class that was able to keep my distance. It's also, if you're having a really tough boss fight, you're able to go to this class, or if you have this class, you can win a lot of battles just by keeping your distance away and doing a whole lot of damage with your arrows. So let's go and take a look at the other kind of stuff we can do. Okay, and here are some of the things that we can do with the hunter-based finesse class that we've built up. It's a really good ranged class. You can obviously charge and do a lot of damage with our bows, and I mean these guys, they really, I mean they won't even get a chance to get close, and these are pretty high level mobs for me. So we also get this, which is the Arrow Storm, which will just waylace to any kind of thing, and then these guys, they never get a chance to get close to you. You're able to really keep your distance. You got a lot of really cool ways to keep your distance. You can drop traps, you can lure, drop a trap, your frost trap, which is completely leveled up, and then you're able to pull them into the trap, and then when they ever get too close, you drop your smoke bomb, and you're out of sight. You can make your distance away, and then immediately go back to firing again. And if they ever get too close, you still have your Fey Blades, and you're still able to do a good bit of damage with those, all the while keeping your poisons up and your damage over time effects. So it's a really good build. It's one of my favorites, especially if you're encountering solo enemies and solo bosses. You can pretty much pull anything and kite anything that you need to kite. So it's a very good build, one of my favorites. So here we have a troll, just to show an example, which would be we don't have any fate, as you can see, so we can't use reckoning. So this would be a tough battle for any kind of melee class to get close to the rogue. But here we're going to show you guys how it's done, and you can go ahead and pull this guy. Barely doing any damage. Oh, we got hit. But we're gonna go ahead and put our frost trap. We'll be able to pull him. Frost trapping. Oh, the other trap. Another arrow storm. Oh, we missed frost strike. And he's dead. So you can see that was a pretty tough enemy. We were able to kite him around and defeat him pretty easily without a whole lot of trouble thanks to this build. So that's it on that one, and on to the sorcery class. Okay, and next up we have the sorcery build, probably the most anticipated build. If my poll on my blog has anything to say about it. So here we are going a lot on the bottom row. We have Staff Mastery, as Staff is my weapon of choice, and Scepter Mastery is my range damage and my secondary weapon of choice. We then have 2 points in each of these to learn the special attacks from them. And in the sorcery class, I generally like to use 2 schools, especially this early on in the build. I don't like to do lightning, fire, and frost. I like to pick 2. In this build, I have chosen fire and frost. They're my favorite. Here we have conservative casting, which is a must in my opinion to reduce all casting by 22%. I don't have shield. I go with healing. In my opinion, you should have one or the other, especially at this stage. There's no need for both. I prefer the heals as I like to control my mana, but I could see some people wanting shield. I am going with the summon pet attack with the 1 point to give a chance to siphon healing on a hit. I think that's and then having a very, very strong pet, and then expanding on your 2 schools of frost. I don't have a point here. I will get one eventually, probably the next one, but I don't see myself using that level, that spell all that often, and I thought it was more important to put an extra point over here. But you could definitely move this point and put it over here. So we'll go ahead and show you guys some of the stuff this mage can do. Thanks. Here are some of the moves that we can do with this build on our mage. We have a good AoE spell, which is simply charging. That's very effective 360 AoE. We have our Scepter, which we can rotate and switch. We have points in Scepter Mastery, so it is a decent attack. We have our pet, who you see right here, and I just summoned another one, or didn't summon them. And then we have our 2 schools, which the fire spell, if you're not familiar with, puts marks on a target, so you can mark up a whole group in a cone-like fashion and blink away, and then you would cast and they would all explode. And then our frost spell, which is an incredibly powerful ranged attack, that's probably the most powerful. And then we have our heal for emergencies. And the one flame spell I did forget is our spinning cyclone of death spell. So there's a lot of different stuff we can do with the mage. The mage is very versatile. Of the classes that I picked, he is definitely the most versatile, and is probably the most prepared for any type of situation. So that's it for the video, guys. We're going to continue this. If you guys like up the video, I'll go ahead and post some combo builds next, probably in the next day or 2, and show you guys some of the combo builds that I've been messing around with. And if there's enough response to this, I'll put up the stealth build that I have and some other main builds that I have. So that's it, guys. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, hit the subscribe button and like the video, and take care. Bye.